I'm your host, Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law, a small law firm in central Minnesota. I don't believe in being licensed, apparently, to practice law because I am currently suspended, but not for anything fun. That's the problem. You know, it's the worst when you get suspended for something like procedural, right? It's like, well, you just didn't do this. It's like, oh, that's it. It's not like I you know, did something offensive or said something. Nope. Just didn't do it. Just didn't do the continuing legal education, which I'll be catching up on soon. I don't practice. Like I don't spend time representing people anymore. Art the Clown, I think it would be valuable too. But it's one of those things where it's like, if anything needs to be backburnered, that one can be backburnered because I'm not actively practicing. So Nakadashi Tomodachi says, you honestly think the government took away your kids for nothing? I can think of 26 powdery reasons. No, that's not what I said, actually. And you can't think of 26 powdery reasons. It was actually 19 powdery reasons, and the rest of the weight was in plastic bags. That being said, I know exactly why the government took my kids. They took them because the statute for child endangerment says that if there's drugs in a house with children, they take the children. Like that's what they do. The first thing, they remove them from the home to make sure that there's until they can ensure that the house is safe to return. And we had I don't know how else to say it. Like we had the fastest return in Candiota County history. Anyone who actually practices in family law or juvenile defense knows like how insanely quick the return schedule was. Felt like an eternity for us, but it was wildly fast. They never when kids are removed. When kids are removed, it takes a long time to get them back. Usually over 6 months, if not close to 12 or 18 months. It can be a really, really long process. Nakadashi says, sorry, your kid's around 19 grams of Coke, not 26. My bad. Actually, it was about 14 grams of Coke, and then the other 5 was split between ketamine and Molly. That being said, so much. My kids weren't around any of it, actually. They had no access to any of it. It was in a locked safe in a locked room they were not allowed into. But I've been through all this. It's tired. Like it's a tired thing that you're doing. It's been 18 months. Go fucking run off into the woods or whatever you need to do. Like go jerk off about it somewhere else. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. It's all done. Like it's done. You every show you come on here and you say something, and I'm happy because you pay for it, so it's fine. But like, you might want to find a different habit and hobby. Like, why didn't you raise cooler kids? I don't know, man. I don't know. It's like, dude, that was a part of my life. Like, and it's I can't go back and undo shit. So you sitting here bitching about it is now you thing at this point. Kevin T 1910 says, as someone who survived the 80s as a teen, Nick does not even qualify as anything. You people have zero clue what real drug problems even look like. Look, I've been blessed in my life to not be in close proximity to many like alcoholics or drug addicts. At least when they were using. Like I've learned about some of them. And it's like, oh, I didn't realize. But like most of my life has been rather charmed in that way, that the alcoholics and drug addicts who may have been around, like they weren't around me at any of those times. But more recently, there's someone who's not immediately around me, but I see with enough frequency. They're a genuine alcoholic, and it is really tough. It's really tough to be around them. Everything they do is it's they're consistently and constantly making the choice. Like they can get like a, an interlock put on their car and still like drink before they're going to go somewhere. It's like, you're going to go like, that you have this planned. Just drink when you get home or whatever. I don't get it. Like, I don't understand because, I drank a lot, but when I had something to do during the day, I didn't drink until after I was done. It was really simple.
My mama was shocked at how quick your kids came home. She said Nick must be a good guy. Kurt's micropene.
I don't know about being a good guy, but I've tried my entire life as an adult to be a good dad. And I don't always succeed, right? Like, but I think that's kind of a hallmark of a good dad, is recognizing when you do screw up. It's really frustrating, some of the stuff that is out there, because a lot of it isn't true. Like, it just isn't. We were investigated. They couldn't find anything to support it. And, people they'll never fully believe it. And that's fine. Like, we know what happened and what didn't happen. We know what they tried to prove and they couldn't prove. We know all of it, and that's okay. But, it's insane when people are like, you neglected your kids or whatever. It's like, I have poured my entire life into these kids since before they were conceived. Since before our first son was conceived, we had a lot of trouble conceiving our first son. It took a couple years of trying. It took fertility drugs and stuff like that. And then once we broke the seal, though, it's like baby's just popping out of nowhere. Felt Catholic again. But no, it's we poured our entire lives into those kids from before they were born, and through the day of our arrest and through every day we could after, we still do. It's like, it's wild how just a couple things from a couple people can just flip the narrative on your entire life and make the things that you work hard to do become known as something that you didn't do. It's like, well, that's kind of crazy, because that's not how it happened, but okay.
I can't move on. The Kiwi Bros can't move on, so we can't let you move on. By the way, Google Keanu C. Thompson nudes. Her husband Gino appreciates it.
You probably won't, though. Like, I don't recommend it. Yeah, there are a bunch of people who can't move on about it for whatever reason. Like, I didn't mean to, but I broke their brain, like, and maybe their heart or whatever. And I didn't mean to do that, guys. I'm sorry. But I understand if people don't want to come back. Like, it's okay. Yeah, Stacy Q, I have a drug and alcohol restriction for the duration of my probation. It could actually be as short as 2.5 years, pretty much. It's really fucking frustrating at times, because like, I do, like, I go to charity events and stuff, and they have alcohol and everybody's drinking. I don't really mind most of the time, but there are things like that where it's like, I wish at this event, or for this thing, I could drink, and that would be okay. Like, even if I told him like ahead of time, like, hey, I've got this event, it's going to be 2 days, and this is what's there, like, that'd be great. And again, my crime didn't have anything to do with alcohol at all. My crime was possession of controlled substances. Alcohol didn't make me possess controlled substances. The fact that at the time I really liked them did. You've got the gel tabs. The cops took all mine. They mentioned him. They didn't charge me. Like, I think what they were going to try and do is use the gel tabs to support a second-degree charge, because they didn't have enough powder. They didn't have enough powder for the second-degree charge. But there was LSD. I don't know how many tabs I had. Like, maybe might have been like 10 or something. The thing with LSD that nobody tells you is LSD is so fucking cheap. And you can't do it all the time or whatever. And like one one tab of LSD lasts like 8 hours, or it can last up to 12, but you got a good 8 hours, and you're pretty much going to do like one for the day and you're done. They cost nothing. It's like between $5 and $20. Like, that's it. It's nutty how cheap that is. You tried acid 3 times, never had an effect. Oh man, acid is something. I get tired of it. Got tired of it or whatever. Like, it's great for a little while, and then it's not. Like, then you're just done. Body's kind of fried out, and you're like, okay, well, now I want it to be gone, but it's still in your system. You got a couple hours left. Unless you just take Molly. 5 hours into your acid trip, you take Molly, and it kicks your acid trip back into gear for about an hour. And then you're just on Molly for the next like 5 hours. It's kind of amplified. It's a little different than normal. And then after about 4 hours of Molly, if you take ketamine and go into a K-hole, you will hallucinate like nothing else. Like, there is nothing like that. You should not do it at all. Do not do it. But I did that several times when there were no kids around, because you can't do that if you got kids around. You cannot do that. I did it a couple times on like vacation. There are no kids around. You can't, because you're not going to do anything that day, and you have to have nothing on the schedule. Holy shit. Like, I would do that and listen to, like, I would put on music videos on my TV, turn the lights off. It was unreal. It was unreal. I'm not recommending anybody do that. I'm not advocating for it. It was an experience I had a couple times, and like, here's a lot, man. Your body goes through a fucking lot on that. It's wild that ketamine is like a recreational drug, but it's also it is a drug used in treatment for people with addiction to other drugs. Ketamine's got real potential. You should only do ketamine when guided by a doctor, proper prescription, and all that stuff. But you shouldn't do ketamine via IV unless you are supervised by a physician. That's what, like, some of the celebrities who die from it and stuff, they get a doctor to prescribe them IV ketamine, which is, you shouldn't be doing that. Like, you get blood clots and die. If you do it a lot, yeah, like, you kind of get deep into some weird thoughts. But I find that they're found, I guess. I haven't done ketamine in a year. And the last time I did it was by prescription. And I checked with my LADC, licensed alcohol and drug counselor, who did my assessment, my chemical use assessment. I checked with that person and with my therapist before getting a ketamine prescription. I said, do you think this would be good to help me with some of the things I was dealing with? And both of them said yes. Both of them said yes, that I should do that. Because, I was worried, because I was like, I used to do ketamine for fun, and now I'm going to do it for therapy. Like, is that an okay thing? I wanted to make sure I had proper recommendations from people who knew my drug history very thoroughly. And they said it was that it would be a good thing. And it really was. But when I did it recreationally, I was pretty safe. I have very low dose. Yeah, like, legitimately, if you have long-standing traumas or some really tough challenges to get around, ketamine therapy is being shown to be one of the best fucking ways to do it. It helps your brain build new, like, the neuroplasticity that comes from ketamine helps your brain build pathways around your problems. So again, talk to your doctor or therapist or whatever about it. Don't go buy it on the street, and never fucking do it out. Like, don't do the little bumps of ketamine out in public. Ketamine builds up in your system, And there's people, they're like, oh no, I just do a little bump, and then I come down, then I do another one. Eventually you'll just fucking drop, and your body, like, you'll be paralyzed and in a K-hole. Don't do that shit. It's very, very dangerous to do in a social situation. You know, I do not recommend that at all. And I never did that, because that is like, nope. Whenever I was doing it, I was going to bed. I was going to bed afterwards. And, because it takes you out. Again, I recommend doing it with a therapist, you know, a licensed, you get a prescription and all that stuff. But if you're adventurous and you're not going to do that or whatever, do it in a safe place, locked inside a hotel room or your bedroom or whatever. And it's good. Like, it's good to have a partner or guide there with you. They don't have to be an actual like guide or whatever, but just a partner or like someone that you really trust who will sit there with you and not fuck you while you're unconscious. Unless you're into that, like, unless you want to be fucked while you're unconscious. Some people are like, no, like, I want to be barely conscious, and like, you know, like, I'm okay with it. I've woken up fucking while on ketamine. Which was something, but the getting fucked while unconscious is the best part. Look, it is, again, someone you trust, and, you know, you work that out with them. Like I said, I have woken up with this experience after, like, in the middle of a ketamine trip. It was something else. My problem with the mushrooms is consuming them. I've had them in the chocolate bars. I can do that, but outside of that, like, I can't. They're not good. One time I was like, put it in peanut butter, and I fucking ground up all these mushrooms and like put it in peanut butter, and I was like, I have so much peanut butter, I don't know what the fuck to do with all this. Then I'm eating just like spoonfuls of mushroom peanut butter that didn't taste good. It's not great. I know it makes some people uncomfortable that I talk about this stuff and I talk about it really openly or whatever, but what good is going through something if you can't share the experience and let people learn from it? Like, I think learning from your own mistakes is fine. I think preventing other people from learning from your mistakes and choices is a little selfish. There's plenty to do. There's plenty to do and say about things that happen. I don't think we should run from the past or hide it. The stigma around substances is really, it's frustrating, because there is a lot of potential, and we're starting to see neurologists start to look into it, and research is being done specifically on psychedelics and their their therapeutic potential. I do think in the next decade to 2 decades, there's going to be a sea change in how psychedelics are viewed in society.